Hello everybody, my name is DevGirlNeco. So, a few months ago, I made a video where I took a look at all my other videos to see what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Or at least what people like watching and what they don't. One of my top 3 most popular videos is my theory on scottgames.com and the mystery of Dark EE82EE. So, I've decided to do my own theory on my take of the FNaF timeline now that we have most of the pieces of the puzzle. Also, partly because MatPat was done with the FNaF timeline theories.
Nope. Nuh-uh, not touching it. No, sirree, Bob. No way. You can mechanically wheeze all you want, Michael Eggs Benedict, Afton, Purple Guy, Jingleheimer, Schmidt, but I am not spending another 20 minutes trying to piece together whether you're Springtrap, whether you're Purple Guy, whether you're a second Purple Guy, and whether all of this requires yet another rewrite of the timeline. I am not doing it. At least not until the next book comes out in June.
But speaking of MatPat, he's a huge inspiration of mine. You should probably check out his channel, Game Theory, for tons of theories like this. #NotSpawn. Now, before we start, let's throw out Silver Eyes. Just take the entire book and toss it in the trash. Now, I'm not saying this to be mean, I'm saying it because it will throw us off the track. Scott Cawthon says that the book is canon, just as the games are, yes. But he also says that the two are not intended to go together like puzzle pieces. The book is a reimagining of the FNaF story. But let's leave the book's canon alone and completely toss out everything we know about its story. If we try to connect the two, we get some pretty interesting inconsistencies and contradictions. For instance, Henry, William, and Baby. We know that according to the book, that Henry made Baby and allowed her to kill him. But in Sister Location, we know that William Afton made Baby and his daughter was killed by her. In trying to connect these two parts, we get that William and Henry have to be the same person, which doesn't make any sense. We can't just pick and choose which parts of the book are canon to the games, so let's just ignore the book altogether. Henry doesn't seem to exist in the games, or at the very least, not in the same way he does in the book. Here's my theory on the entire FNaF series timeline using everything I know from the games and completely dismissing the book in its entirety. Let's start with Henry. I said that he doesn't seem to exist in the games, but what if he does, and just plays a different but similar role to the book? Let's say that Henry is the original owner of the first restaurant, Fredbear's Family Diner. What if the child killed at Fredbear's Family Diner was Henry's own child? I don't have any evidence for this, but it would make for an interesting story point. Crippled by the loss of his child and the negative PR of a murder at his business, Henry sells the establishment to William Afton, the Purple Guy. Purple Guy goes on to create Fazbear Entertainment and Afton Robotics. He creates a sister location right underneath his own house and creates the Funtime animatronics and Baby, all programmed and designed specifically to kidnap children as evidenced by their blueprints. Afton's daughter takes a liking to Baby, although Afton keeps her away because he knows what Baby does. When Baby is alone with Afton's daughter, she kills her. This is where Afton's youngest son, the Crying Child, comes into the picture. What if the Crying Child witnessed Baby killing his sister? This would explain why he is so afraid of the animatronics, but not the actual toys. It also explains why the sister in FNaF 4 is absent for the entire game, although we know she exists because of her room in the Crying Child's house. This now starts the events of FNaF 4. Crying Child is bullied by his older brother Michael throughout the game. During Crying Child's birthday party, Michael and his friends bring the Crying Child over to the Fredbear Springlock animatronic, and his tears moisten the locks, causing them to malfunction. This is the event that causes the decommissioning of the Springlock suits. Note that this cannot be the Bite of 87, as the only animatronic to bite wasn't walking around and was stationary on the stage. This wouldn't make sense since the Bite of 87 is why the animatronics cannot walk around anymore during the day. Also, Phone Guy tells us that it's amazing that the human body can live without the frontal lobe, implying that the victim of the Bite of 87 survived his injuries. But we know that the crying child dies at the end of FNaF 4 as we hear a flatline in the background of the final cutscene. As the crying child dies from the injuries caused by the bite of 83, William Afton says, "I will put you back together." Now, we begin the events of Sister Location. Michael Afton takes the recently opened position of a technician at the Sister Location deep underground below his house. Baby, now possessed by the spirit of his dead sister, as evidenced from her eye color shift from blue to green after the cupcake minigame. Oh, that fucking cupcake minigame. Seeing Michael, she formulates an escape plan using the other animatronics and manipulating Michael into getting scooped. After a few days, it becomes apparent that Michael's body isn't fit for Ennard, so Ennard escapes into a nearby sewer. Michael, however, doesn't die, and continues his quest to put them back together, just as his father intended him to do. Purple Guy takes advantage of the bite of 83 to use the Spring Bonnie suit to lure children instead of the Funtime animatronics, who have mysteriously gone missing after the events of Sister Location. After the Sister Location closes, we come to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. After 5 children are killed, the restaurant shuts down. The puppet, Purple Guy's first victim, comes back to give gifts, give life to the 5 children Purple Guy killed in the form of stuffing the bodies into 5 animatronic suits: Chica, Foxy, Freddy, Bonnie, and Golden Freddy. Next is the events of FNaF 2 with the grand reopening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. 4 new animatronics are now here with built-in facial recognition to prevent another child-killing incident, but it doesn't work. Purple Guy kills more children, but this time the puppet is out to stop him. Now this is where we were all wrong when it comes to the Save Them minigame. It's also where we were all wrong about the entire story of FNaF 3. It's even where we're all wrong about Purple Guy actually being Purple Guy. It's not William Afton who is going around dismantling the animatronics and saying you can't. It's Michael. Notice how the supposed Purple Guy sprite is never shown in any of the minigames murdering children. He's only ever seen dismantling animatronics. The sprite in the Take Cake to the Children minigame and the Go 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 Foxy minigame show a different sprite from the sprite who says you can't and dismantles the animatronics. The final nail in the restaurant's coffin is the bite of 87 caused by Mangle. This results in the management closing the restaurant's doors and scrapping the toy animatronics, Mangle included, but keeping the old animatronics for a new, smaller scale establishment. Now, we come to FNaF 1. Michael Afton once again takes a job at Freddy Fazbear's, this time under the alias Mike Schmidt, to finish the job and dismantle the last of the animatronics to free their souls. This is what we see in the FNaF 3 minigames at the end of each night. However, once all of the children's souls are free, they mistake Michael Afton for his father, William Afton, and corner him in the safe room. Michael, unaware of how to safely operate the Spring Bonnie suit his father used to kill, jumps inside of the suit to hide, but the wetness in the now decrepit building loosened the spring locks and they snap, crushing and mangling Michael inside the suit. The children are free now, put back together just as his father wanted, but something is wrong. Michael is still unable to die. Finally, we come 30 years after FNaF 1 to the events of FNaF 3. Stuck as Springtrap, he attempts to kill the security guard at Fazbear's Fright before the place burns to the ground. Now we come full circle to the Golden Freddy cutscene in Sister Location. Springtrap survives the fire at Fazbear's Fright and only has one thing left to do. Find the Purple Guy.
I'm going to come find you.
But hey, that's just a theory. Thanks for watching and bye-bye!